crafty friends. Welcome to Flosstube. My name is Jessie and this is mislaidpages, and it is May 7th, y'all. It's May 7th. We're a week into May already. I have some good progress to show you, I think. I'm not where I had hoped I would be with this particular project, but I do have some progress to show you. It's been an interesting week. I haven't been as cross-stitchy crafty as I had thought I would be. I've been knitting more than I've been cross-stitching, but I have stuff to show you. I also have, later in the video, I'm going to be doing not exactly an unwrapping or unboxing, but I have the Fight Like a Girl cross-stitch kit from Forbiddenfiberco, and I'm really excited to show that to you. So I'll be opening that towards the end of the video. I was going to do a separate unwrapping kind of thing, and I thought, why not? Let's just open it while I'm on camera instead of doing a whole separate video for it. So that'll be later when I talk about purchases and things like that. So so what have I been doing this week? Working. And a little bit of crafting. It's been I've been in a weird headspace because I have these mornings lately, or actually it's not, I don't have mornings, like every morning is like this lately, where I just wake up and I just don't want to. I don't want to. I want to sleep and stay in the bed. Usually by like 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm finally into the groove of stuff, but in the morning, I just cannot get going lately. And I don't know, this happens to me in the fall, but I don't remember if it happens usually in the spring. You would think it would be the other way around in the spring, that I'd be like springing up out of bed and ready to go. And lately it's just nope, nope. My brain is like nope, and my body is like nope, and I'm just like, okay then. So it's been a struggle, and I think part of the thing is I haven't been doing, like, what I usually do is a mental list or sometimes a physical list of my priorities for the day, and for the last couple of weeks I kind of let that slide, and I'm feeling kind of adrift and like not without motivation, but just directionless, I guess. I'm doing the work stuff, but like just in general I'm feeling kind of wibbly wobbly, out of place. So I guess that's just what it is. So yeah, shall we get into some happy mail? I've been watching some TV. I haven't listened to any books yet. I've been watching lots of TV, but I think I'm just gonna, I don't want to spend 15 minutes talking about stuff, so let's just talk about happy mail. I got some more pins. Y'all know me and my pins, so I'm constantly ordering more stuff from TLT Cup. I have so many more pins than you can see on that little thing there, because I keep purchasing. And I actually just filled out my backer kit survey for the Kickstarter that Gail did for all the Ghibli stuff. So I picked out the pins that I'm going to get for that. It's something like 7 or 8 pins. And then an extra that I ordered, so I'm like really excited about that. So I filled that out, so those will hopefully be shipping soon. But in the meantime, I ordered more, because why not? Excuse me. So mostly these are pins that I kind of missed out on previously, and she had them up again, so I was like, okay, let me not miss out on them this time. Now this one you've already seen. This was April's Patreon pin for the pin club, but see, I was not a deluxe pin club member. I was just a regular pin club member. So I got the salmon sushi last month. What I did not get, or in April, what I did not get was the onigiri pin. I don't know why the camera doesn't focus when I'm closer up. Okay, so if you were in the deluxe pin club, you got both of these. Since I was in the regular pin club, not the deluxe pin club, I only got the salmon sushi. Well, she had the onigiri available for purchase, but not as a single. You had to get the set. So I have a second salmon sushi and I have an onigiri, because who doesn't need an onigiri pin? And consequently, because I had FOMO, I decided to join the deluxe pen clubs. And I'm saying pen like writing pen, but pin club. So now I'm a member of the deluxe pin club, which means that when there are sets like this, I will get the set instead of just the one. So no more missing out. Also, I had been hoping to get with the Adventure Time pins that I showed you last week or the week before. I've been hoping to get a Bacon Pancake Jake because I think there was the possibility that it would come, the pin or the sticker would come with that set, but it did not. I got the other option instead, which was totally random. Not really a big deal. I was hoping to get bacon pancake Jake because I love bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. It's like my favorite thing ever. So when she relisted a whole bunch of stuff, bacon pancake Jake was was one of the available pins. So I had to get him because making bacon pancakes. Yeah, I can't get over it. It's my favorite thing. It makes me so happy. So I got bacon pancake Jake. And last but not least, I've been meaning to get one of these for a while, and every time I've tried, I have either missed when she listed them. Let me take this out of the package. I've either missed it when they were listed, or have forgotten to add it to my order. So finally, I ordered my gold star. You did it. Let's see if I can. Okay. I need a cameraman, y'all. I need somebody who understands how cameras work. Okay. But it's a gold star that says you did it. So I have a gold star. Officially, I have a gold star. Because I just needed it. I just needed it. So those are my pins. Oh, actually, April's pin of the month was Kevin the koala, the koalified koala. So the sushi was, I guess, March. Must have been March. Anyway, regardless, I needed the onigiri pin. Onigiri are rice balls, and rice balls are delicious. I love them. I love Japanese anime food, period. There's this show called Food Wars. And it's currently airing on Cartoon Network on their Toonami section on Saturdays. It's actually, I think it's into season 4 or maybe even later in Japan, like actually airing in Japan. And I think on HBO Max you can watch the later seasons. But we're watching what's available on Cartoon Network right now, so we're in season 3. And the show is literally about this culinary school that these Japanese kids are going to. And it's a little out there, and by a little I mean a lot. But they just, most of it is just about them cooking food and talking about food and showing pictures of animated food. And I don't know what it is, but I love watching Japanese food. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about anime food. And I actually, Instagram, because Instagram knows me, just put up an ad for a Ghibli themed like kawaii monthly subscription or something. Like this month's, June's box is going to be a Ghibli themed lunch set or something like that. And I was all excited because I thought it was going to come with like Japanese food, but actually it's just like the lunch bag and the little bento boxes and stuff like that, which is still cute, but I'm like, I don't need that. I'm not going to use those. I want the food. I want the Ghibli food. The anime food. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I love Japanese food anyway, but just the way that they draw it in the animation is something out of this world. And with Food Wars, they're constantly talking about actual food science. Like everything they talk about is legit culinary information. And so they talk about the flavors and they show these pictures of this food, and I'm just like, why can I not eat this food? Why is this not like Foodovision? But anyway, I digress. I love Japanese food, y'all. So that's my happy meal. That's my happy meal. And let's see, before I get into the whip, I will get into the one whip I have. Before I get into that, I did the Up All Night retreat last weekend. It was actually Friday evening into through Saturday. So basically 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday to 7 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. I actually won one of the stash dives, so that was exciting. So I have gifts coming to me, which is fun. But it was a fun experience. I had not actually really gotten involved in one of the Black Needle Society's retreats, online retreats at all. So this was my first experience doing that, and like it finally clicked how this works in my brain, because I think was it the Halloween one? excuse me, or the nice list. I can't remember. There was an event with one of the boxes that I had received previously, and I knew about the event. Momo is jumping up in my lap. And I knew about the event. I was aware of the event, and I like looked at the schedule and stuff. I remember all of this stuff, but I don't remember understanding how to participate, I guess. And so this time, like, it clicked. Like, not only you have the events, the different things that are going on, but the way that you really participate and enjoy the retreat is you go into the Facebook room, which is very similar to like a Zoom call, basically. It's a place where folks can video and text chat with each other all at the same time. It's like going into a lounge, an online lounge. And so once I did that and like realized that I could talk to people, I was like, oh, this is what the retreat is. I don't know why that was such a difficult concept for me to get. So I actually participated in the retreat this time. It was really, really fun. Got to meet some new people, chat, stitch, and it was a good time. And I'm excited for the Stars Hollow retreat. That's coming up, I want to say, in July or August. That one might be August. I think there's another one in July. Anyway, I have more boxes coming, so there are more retreats coming. The one that I remember right off the top of my head is Autumn and Stars Hollow, because Gilmore Girls. And I think that one's in August, and that's going to be like a 3-day online retreat, which will be super fun. So I'm really, really excited about that. That was the only disappointing thing to me, was that because the retreat was only overnight, I couldn't participate as much as I wanted to, for 2 reasons. One, I did not plan for a retreat because my brain doesn't understand things sometimes. And 2, I cannot stay up all night. I haven't been able to do that since college or something. I mean, there was a time where I would routinely stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. working on an art project for a class the next day, and then get up at 8 a.m. for art history. Or actually, I would get up for an 8 a.m. class, which meant getting up at least at 7 a.m. So I'd go to bed at 4, wake up at 7, and do my day, and then do it again. And I would do that over and over. And there were times when I would go to D&D gaming conventions with my brother and some other friends, and we would stay up for most of the 3 days, so like 72 hours. We would stay up for most of that, again going to bed at like 4 and getting up at 7, and and then doing the whole day and everything. So I used to be able to do that. I cannot anymore, and part of that is just because I'm not willing to tolerate the person I become with that level of sleep deprivation, because that's not a nice person. Jesse on sleep deprivation, especially Jesse on sleep deprivation with any sort of blood sugar issues, that's not a person you want to meet. It's really not. So I just avoid that in general, and I go to bed usually at reasonable times and try to get 6 hours at least. There's a cattail. Hi, kitty. You just don't like it when I talk to people, huh? You just got to be all in the middle of stuff. She did this on my Zoom call for work yesterday too. She got all up in my face. In my face. You such a little attention hog. You little attention hog. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, so up all night was super fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for my prize to arrive. I'll show that to you when it gets here. So yeah, it's fun. Excited for future online retreats. Speaking of retreats, I just learned this past week that Stitchcon is happening. Stitchcon is a stitching convention that happens it's a big old stitch retreat that happens in Ohio in June. They had to cancel last year's for obvious reasons. They are going forward with this year's, which happens in June. Now, originally the plan was, and this was a long time ago, but originally the plan was that Rachel and Heike and I were all going to try to get into the convention, and we were going to try to go to Ohio and do the retreat and all this sort of stuff. That's not going to be able to happen, especially because I think for me personally, even if Rachel and Heike could make it, which I don't think they're even allowed to travel right now, I'm not sure what the restrictions are in Europe or what the restrictions are here in the US for folks coming from Europe. But even if they could make it, it's way too late for me to plan an out-of-town trip at that point, especially because I'm still not with the peopling yet. there's a certain level of peopling I'm okay with right now. And I know I've been vaccinated, and I'm happy to continue to wear a mask to make sure that I'm staying as safe as humanly possible. Momo. But being around people makes me nervous. I've never been a huge fan of large crowds, period. But ever since COVID and everything, having been away from crowds, having been much more physically isolated and stuff like that, I am much more nervous around smaller groups of people than I used to be. So when it's people I know, I'm totally fine. When I'm in a grocery store and it's too crowded, it makes me uncomfortable. When I'm out in places that didn't used to make me uncomfortable, even though I'm vaccinated and I'm wearing a mask and everybody else is wearing a mask and we're all social distancing, when there are too many people around, it makes me really anxious. So I'm not in a mental or emotional place, even if I were in a logistical place to plan a trip for June, and this is like middle of June, so we're talking barely a month away. So I didn't even put myself on the wait list because I don't think it's feasible for me to even think about that right now. But I would like to maybe go next year. It is a really large convention for being what it is. From what I understand, as far as stitching retreats go, it's a pretty big one. And I would much rather I'd much rather participate in a smaller stitching retreat or a virtual one like I did this past weekend. So we'll see. I still would like to go to Stitchcon at some point, but we'll see how it goes. I mostly want to go to Stitchcon when I know that people that I know are going to be there because I don't want to go and hang out with 300 people that I don't know or that I've without anybody that I've met before. So yeah, that's a thing for me too. It's called social anxiety, people. Yeah, I mean, and this is an interesting point that Michelle just made, Bendy Stitchy, Michelle of Bendy Stitchy just made recently, is that I'm very much an introvert, and I don't know if that comes across because, and this is true of a lot of us Flosstubers, like we sit in front of a camera and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff and we're engaging and we're seemingly social and all this sort of stuff, but I'm physically at home by myself, and so I can be this way. And I can seem really extroverted around the right people. When I'm with my friends, folks that I'm really comfortable with, I can be really outgoing and I can be really loud and boisterous and whatever, but I am always an introvert. At my very core, I'm an introvert, and being around people can be exhausting, and being outgoing can be really exhausting. So that's something that may not really carry across on Flosstube, because it seems like I'm like super gung-ho and whatever, but I'm not. I'm a homebody. I want to stay home. I enjoy being out with people. I'm not isolated like, some of my family and friends would like to think. But I have a lot of social interaction. I just do it mostly from the comfort of my own home. But I will say this, as much as Stitchcon is a large stitching retreat, it is teeny tiny in comparison to a lot of the conventions that I've been to. So I'm kind of reminding myself of that. And part of what you do is you go and you make new friends. So I mean, that's part of it too. And the fact that we're all there for cross stitching, that's something we already all have in common. So it's one of those things. I have to talk myself through these things. But it's always so much more comfortable and so much more fun if I know that somebody who's already my friend is going to be there, because then together we can meet new people, and I already have that level of comfort before I meet the new people. So anyway, it's longer explanation than you needed. The point is, stitching retreats. I would really love to find a stitching retreat that's closer to home, because going to Ohio right now in a month I'd have to get plane tickets and hotel and all that sort of stuff would be a little bit expensive. If I could drive to Virginia Beach to go to a retreat, I'd be much more comfortable with that. That's much more in my comfort zone right now. So, and I know that there have been some. I don't know that there are any going on right now, and so we'll see. We'll see how that changes. So anyway, during the retreat, I worked on cross stitching because that's what you do is you stitch at the retreat. You chat and you stitch, and sometimes you do stash dives that you win. So that was kind of fun. Stash dives are like these scavenger hunts that you do with the things that you have in the room that you're in. So when you're doing a virtual stash, when you're doing a stash dive for a virtual retreat, or especially with the Black Needle Society, the main rule is that you go to the room that you're going to be in, that you're going to look for the stuff, and you stay in that room until the 30 minutes is up. You cannot leave that room to go get other stuff. You can only use the stuff that's in that room that you've picked. So I am very fortunate in the fact that my craft room is also my office, is also my hangout room. So probably like 95% of the crafty type things that I own are in this room with me, and it's a pretty large room, so so I have a bit of an advantage there, and I get that. But it was still really fun, and there was stuff that I didn't have in here because I think a couple of times a toothbrush was called for, or a hairbrush, and I don't tend to keep those in the craft room, but I had so many other things. So anyway, stash dives are fun. During the retreat, and then a little bit over the course of the rest of the week, I have been working on my Celtic rainbow from Arteki. And as you can see, I've gotten a lot done here. It turned out there are a whole lot more stitches here than I realized. So the entire piece, I think, has something like 4,000 stitches. It's a full coverage, 63 by 63, which doesn't seem like a lot until you actually realize how many X's that is. 63 times 63 is something like 4,000. So I had already finished from the start of the light green here down to, I think I'd done both blue colors. So I think I'd done both blue colors, and I'd done most of the black outlining in that section too. So I started with the black outlining around the blue, finished the entire bottom, as you can see. And that part was something like, excuse me, something like 600 stitches that I put in down there. So I still had, because I'm trying to remember what the numbers were. I think at the beginning of the weekend, I discovered that I had either 2,000 or around 1,500 stitches left to stitch here. And I was like, oh, I'll finish it today on Sunday. This was me on Sunday. Rachel can verify. Rachel and Heike can verify, because I'm like, I think I'm going to finish this today. And then I did the stitch calculation, and I was like, maybe I won't finish this today. Maybe that's a little bit much. At Rachel's suggestion, I settled on just finishing the bottom portion here. So I finished the bottom portion on Sunday, and then last night I went in and started working on the yellow and the red, or the yellow, orange, and the red. And I actually finished the yellow and the orange, and I'm about, I'd say a third into the red. And then of course I have to do all of the black that goes around that. So I'm hopeful that I'll finish this weekend. At this point, I probably have 500 or 600 stitches left. So it's a good solid amount of stitching, but with this piece, on my regular cross stitches, I'm trying to figure out how I can hold this and still talk to you. So on my regular stitches, I generally can stitch, I can do 100 cross stitches in an hour. That's about the speed at which I do any of my standard cross stitches. So when I'm working on Dark Queen, when I was working on Goose in a Dress up there, all that kind of stuff that requires me looking and checking and that kind of stuff, I can do about 100 stitches in an hour. With this piece, because so much of it is color blocking, like literally color blocking, I can do more like 200 stitches or more in an hour. At least the one stitching challenge I did like 233 stitches. But to be fair, I was doing all the black outlining down here, so it was like but that's the point, is that pretty much once I get myself oriented with what I need to stitch, then it's boom, 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 boom. So so it goes faster. So on a regular stitch, 600 or 800 stitches would take me 6 or 8 hours. This will probably take me more along the lines of 3 or 4 hours, especially once I get all the red done, because the black will be literally just filling everything in. So that's going to go super, super fast. So I do feel like it's totally possible to finish this weekend, especially because I think Essential Spouse has other plans this weekend. The look on my face makes that seem like I'm disappointed, but I think he's doing stuff with friends this weekend, which means that I have an extra free weekend, which I'm fine with. That's all good to me. Means I can stitch more. So yeah, I feel like I feel pretty confident that I'll get that done this weekend. So that's this weekend's plans. In addition to my other weekend plans are to actually kit up my irises by Smart Cross Stitch. I need to go through my my current floss stash, my DMC stash, to see what colors I have and determine what colors I still need to buy. And I'm also going to look into buying at least some portion of the floss for Long I Have Waited. Going through my stash for both of those. Excuse me. Long I Have Waited has 88 colors. I don't remember exactly how many skeins it requires. Excuse me. Hiccups. It's going to require at least 88 skeins, probably significantly more than 88 skeins. So my strategy with that is to decide what corner I'm going to start in, and mostly buy the colors that are concentrated in that color or in that corner, because probably I can get away with buying between 10 and 20 skeins of floss to start with, and then buy more as I get further into the design, because when you're doing a heaven and earth design or anything large like that, you could go ahead and kit it up all at once. There's nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to, because generally speaking, you're not going to use all of the colors in the first 4,000 stitches. You know, it's going to take a while to get to all the colors. So I think that'll be my strategy, because to buy 88 plus skeins of yarn, or skeins of skeins of DMC is going to be a decent amount of money, considering that for the most part you can't get them for less than, what is 20% of 60 cents? I mean, they're retailing for 60 to 62 cents now because of everything that's gone on, and the most that Michaels will do lately is a 20% off. So so yeah, it adds up. And granted, let me add in the disclaimer that I understand how lucky I am that in the States I can purchase these for 60 cents a piece, because I know that outside the States the prices are astronomical. I want to say that in the UK, floss costs something like the equivalent of $2 or more per skein, $2 US or more per skein. So not complaining, just saying that it adds up. So I'm going to strategize and try not to spend too much money all at one time, because I don't need to. I don't need 100 skeins of floss right now, because I'm never going to get to that right now. I can buy it over time. So that'll be one of my projects this weekend, is going through all the floss, going through all the DMC to figure out what colors I actually need to purchase. And it's so funny, because most of the time I don't worry too much about it. When it's especially if it's a Barbara Anna generally requires 20 colors or less, usually more like 12 to 15, if that many. And when a project requires less than 20 skeins, usually I will just go buy them. I don't even bother checking through my stash, because it's just easier to just go buy them, and it's not terribly expensive at that point. But the irises chart needs closer to 33 skeins, or colors, I should say. It needs closer to 33 colors, and then I also need somewhere between 0 and 88 colors for Long I Have Waited. So I'm going to be a little bit more frugal this time. I'm gonna be a little bit smarter. I'm gonna go through my stash first and that sort of thing. And part of the reason I don't like going through my stash is because there's a significant portion of my DMC stash that is just the skeins in bags, because I purchased them for other projects that I ended up not starting, or I have them left over for one reason or another. I do have a ton of skeins left over from the Stitch Your Own Adventure Harry Potter Letters from Hogwarts, because I retired that piece, so I have all the skeins from that. And fortunately, I had not purchased all of the DMC for that. I just purchased what you needed for the like the prologue and the first chapter. I think that's all I did. So it's not a ton of stuff, but it is a lot of extra skeins. And there was a stitch along from Freudian Stitch back at the beginning of last year that I bought all the floss for, and then the stitch along did not jive. I didn't even start that one because I did not care for any of the aesthetics of it. The idea was great. The idea was fantastic. The execution was less than stellar for me. I didn't care for it. It was very similar to, what was it? I can't remember, but it was one of those that was more like just random quotes and things, and the images were not aesthetically pleasing to me. And I can be kind of picky when it comes to the way that things look. Like I'm a former art major. I'm a person who loves art. I have a very particular aesthetic palette, I guess you could say. So I will admit that I can be a little bit snooty about artwork. I have a particular taste. I don't like things that are outside of a certain, I don't know how to describe it. I have a particular taste, and I am particular about my taste. I'm not really super finicky about a lot of stuff, but artwork I am. I like certain styles. I like certain artists, and when something doesn't meet that standard, I'm less than thrilled. So it's a lot of the reason that I haven't bought more diamond paintings in the last years, because I'm to a point now where I'm only going to buy diamond paintings that are one of two things. Either the artwork is fantastic and I love it so much that I feel like I want it in my house, like I want to hang it somewhere, I want to see it all the time. So it has to be really, really fantastic art, or it has to look like it's going to be super fun to diamond paint. The problem I have with a lot of diamond paintings is that the artwork is gorgeous sometimes, depending on the artist. Dye Moon Shop has fantastic licensing agreement, or they have a ton of licensing agreements with some fantastic artists. Margaret Morales, Sybil Art, Medusa Dollmaker, who is one of my favorites. Medusa Dollmaker. But anyway, they have a lot of fantastic artists. The only issue that I have is that a lot of the diamond paintings, the artwork that they make into diamond paintings, is artwork I would love to have in my house, but there's maybe like a solid black background, or there's just a lot of, it's a fairly monochromatic artwork piece, which works fantastically for the art, but is significantly less interesting as a person who doesn't want to do something that is basically just shades of gray. I like colors. I need colors. So that's why I haven't bought a lot of diamond paintings recently, is because I'm just nothing is speaking to me in that way. Until there was just something recently. I have to look back in my messages. There was something that Dye Moon Shop just released recently that was gorgeous, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was either Margaret Morales or who was the other artist? I can't think of her now, but it was a gorgeous piece. I shared it to Heike and Rachel. They're probably shouting it at me right now. Dye Moon Shop keeps getting a licensing for new pieces that are making me really think hard about actually spending money on diamond paintings again. So, one of the pieces was actually a Darth Vader mask, which Heike was really into. I was into mostly because my former boss, who's now a colleague, is super into Star Wars, and he's specifically into the dark side stuff. And I had purchased years ago, wow, I say years ago, but it was really like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I had purchased a great big, like a 40 by 60 diamond painting with Darth Vader in it. But I purchased it from one of the shops on AliExpress, one of the not so reputable shops. So I have no idea. I'm pretty certain, but I'm pretty certain they have no licensing for that image. But I have no idea where the image originally came from. I'm just fairly certain they didn't pay the artist for it. So I can't in good conscience put it on my channel at all, which is why nobody's seen it in ages, or if at all. but I also don't feel good about working on it, period, to give it away, because it's a piece of artwork that where the artist didn't get paid for their hard labor. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that kit. It's a really big piece, but I can't remember the artist, but they just released this gorgeous piece with Moon Shop that is a Darth Vader mask. And I think that would be fantastic to get and make for my my former boss instead of doing this other piece. Also, there's a really good rendition of it that's in a middle size. It's a little bit smaller than the one that I had purchased originally. You can't see her, but Momo's right here. She's just sitting on the table. Is you my bud? Are you my bud today? What you doing? She's so silly. So anyway, so yeah, that's making it really hard for me to continue not buying diamond paintings. So we'll see. I gotta save up a little bit of money first, though. Trying to slow down the spending. Trying to slow it down. Be a little bit more responsible, especially because we're starting to get to a place where travel seems possible. Trips and vacations and things are starting to seem like real possibilities, but you need to have money to travel. So it would be good if I slowed down on the yarn and the cross-stitching stuff so that I could afford to buy plane tickets and hotel rooms and things like that. So anyway, but yeah, so that's that. So yeah, plans for this weekend are to try to finish the Celtic Rainbow and to get those other two pieces I'm going to start this month kitted up. Depending on how I'm feeling, I may go ahead and get light started this weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Not really sure, but maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so that's the current plans. And I'm just trying to think of Momo is seriously distracting. She's so cute. You're so cute. How are you just cute? Anyway, so those are the plans. Let's talk about some purchases. So I got my first installment of Color and Cotton's Fabric of the Month, my very first ever. And it's interesting, right after I joined the Fabric of the Month Club, they decided, this was really fortuitous, there Momo goes. This is really fortuitous. They decided to, they had not before, but they decided to go ahead and roll the Fabric of the Month in with the Floss of the Month if you're in multiple clubs. They decided to roll those together so that you get one shipment that has your fabric and your floss instead of paying two separate invoices during the month and having to pay shipping twice. They're going to invoice once and ship once. So actually that'll be really nice because I'll be saving probably at least $350 a month between the two. Now granted, I was only getting Floss of the Month up until just now. So for me, that's not as, it's not a savings in quite the same way because I had not already been paying that, but I think it's a fantastic idea. I am all in favor of one invoice instead of multiple invoices that happen at different times. So I can plan that better with my budget and plan it better with my bill paying and that sort of thing. Because I do this whole thing where if I have recurring charges, I go ahead and set them up in Quicken to roll in automatically and all that sort of stuff. So having the one charge is so much easier than the two charges to keep up with. So I'm excited about that. So let me show it to you because I forgot that was my point. So I am getting 28 count Lugana from Color and Cotton because I have learned that if I want to stitch with 2 strands, I would prefer 28 count dyed Lugana versus 32 count. So there's a little note explaining the whole switching up of the billing dates and stuff like that. So this month's I guess spoilers. If you get Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month and you don't want to see what it looks like, then spoilers. So this color is called Succulent, and this is a really beautiful neutral. I almost think it would be better named after a mushroom versus just succulent in general, but this is a fantastic color. And I'm actually wondering, I'm going to have to look at, when I finally get around to Beach Dance, this might be a really great color for Beach Dance. I like it a lot. It's sort of a cool sandy color. So yeah, very nice. I'm also, I might have to look into maybe not joining the Fabric of the Month club, maybe just purchasing some individual pieces of fabric. But Fiberlicious has some gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. This month they debuted this gorgeous purple fabric and purple flosses. So I might have to investigate getting some Fiberlicious, especially because I think I noticed that Fiberlicious offers Jobelan as an option. So y'all know, I would love some more Jobelan options, so that would be cool. So I'll have to investigate that, but that is more money. So yeah, but that is, I'm very happy with my first piece of color and cotton, and this is a fat quarter. So yeah, so that's your typical fat quarter. It does seem stiffer than some of the Luganas that I've had from other dyers, but it's good. And then this will be the last thing, and then I'll let y'all go so you can get your weekend started or finish up your day or do whatever it is you're doing. So this is Fight Like a Girl. As you can see, it's a kit versus their traditional treasure trove. So the treasure trove, I'll show you, because of course I got the knitting one too. So the treasure trove traditionally comes in a box. And they do these awesome stickers. I love this. Okay, so this is the knitting treasure trove. I'll be doing an unboxing and probably posting that on Monday if you're interested in seeing what comes in the knitting treasure trove. So this is the Fight Like a Girl treasure trove box that you could pick either knitting or crochet. I always pick knitting. So that's what the box looks like. But Leanne and the folks at Forbidden Fiberco have, what they're doing now is with the cross stitch stuff, they're alternating between kits and treasure troves. So probably every other box or every other theme that comes out, they will do a kit, and then the next one they'll do a treasure trove. So they just did a cross stitch kit for the Mandalorian theme. So for Fight Like a Girl, they have done a cross stitch. They just did a treasure trove for the Mandalorian. Did I say that right? For the Mandalorian, they did a box. They did the box treasure trove. And for Fight Like a Girl, they have done a kit. So let's see what's in the kit. I feel like there's a project bag in here, but it could just be the fabric. Oh, this is cute. Okay, so there is a project bag. So all of it is in this cute little bag. I love that. That's so awesome. And it says, not fragile like a flower, fragile like a bomb. That is awesome. I love it. And there is this cute little zipper pull right there. I like that. Let me hold it. There we go. You can see it a little bit better. That's super cute. I like it. It's got a little like pink lips on the bottom. I love the beads on that. So the whole thing comes in a bag. Love it. Love it. Love it. So let's look at the bits and pieces. So first the fabric. So I got Belfast 32 Opalescent. This colorway is called Rose Petal. I'm gonna take it out of the bag, but there's Rose Petal. So pretty, so pretty. And this is gonna be 1/8 of a yard. Oh, I like this a lot. It's reminded me a little bit of that most recent Fortnite fabric that I got for the Expensive Rich Club. It's hard to see the color, but it's a really pale kind of lavender pink that's modeled in there, and it's got the opalescent. It's really gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. I like that a lot. I'm gonna have to put this next to the Expensive Rich piece that I got and determine which one I'm actually gonna use for irises, because I think one or the other of these would be fantastic for that. Gorgeous. Unless, of course, I need to keep this to use with the chart that came with it. We'll see. We shall see. Let's see. What else is in here? Because there's a ton of stuff in here. Okay. Ooh. Apparently the next theme is going to be Cobra Kai. I don't know if I'm going to get this one, to be completely honest. Mostly, I love martial arts are fantastic. I love watching martial arts. Never was huge into the Karate Kid franchise, and I haven't watched Cobra Kai at all, so I might skip that one. Okay, and there's a note about Just Flossin', which is Forbidden Fiber Co's monthly floss club, which actually I need to get into. There's that. Okay, here are the flosses. Let's look at the flosses. These are really nice. I like them. Okay. So let me get these together so that you can see them. And one thing that I think is super fun is that Leanne always sets these up so that there are several tonals, like several solids, and then there's one that combines all of the other colors, which is great. So let me look at those colors. Those are fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so let's go one by one. So this one is Coal. It's a nice charcoaly black color. We've got Coal. We have Desire. I love this color. So it kind of coordinates with my shirt. So it's a really nice deep magenta. I'm loving magenta lately. Like it's almost my third favorite color, with purple's first, teal is second, and now magenta is kind of sneaking in there. This one's called Pineapple. It's bright yellow. Love it. And Lip Stain, which is a nice complement to that to the other magenta that I've already forgotten the name of, to Desire. So that's a nice complementary color, I think. And then lastly, we have Fight Like a Girl. So this is the one that combines all the other colors. You can see that. I don't actually see, there's a little bit of the yellow in here, yeah. So there's a little bit of pineapple. It's mostly like a mottled black with the different pinks. But I like it. I like it a lot. That's really nice. So let's see the chart that goes with this. Oh, I love this. Okay, so it's an embroidery, what do you call it? Emery board. It's a glass emery board that's pink on one end. I like that. I haven't used a glass emery board before. I'm not sure why, but I like that. I like that a lot. I use it, it's funny, I don't really do my nails. I'm not a nail person. I tried some stick-on gel nails, not stick-on, but like the kind where it's basically like a gel nail that's flat and you put it on and then you have to harden it with UV light and everything. I tried those. You may have noticed those a few videos ago, and they lasted 2 days because I can't stop picking at my fingers. So they stayed on really well, but then I would notice that they were just slightly loose, or there was a little edge, a place where I could get a fingernail under the edge near my nail beds, and then I would just pick them off because I have a really hard time not picking at my nails. So, so I don't do my nails, but I do keep them filed down and stuff because I actually have really weak nails and they start to sort of like warp and stuff like that. So I keep them relatively short and I always file them because they're nice and smooth at that point. So a nail file works really well for me. Okay, let's see what the chart is. Some women are lost in the fire, some women are built from it. This is pretty awesome. So this is the chart. That is really cool. And I don't know how well you can see that, but the that Fight Like a Girl colorway is actually the border around the text. I like that a lot. That's really cool. So this is designed by Kelly King for Forbidden Fiber Co. And this model was stitched on 25 count Lugana rose petal colorway. So yeah, that's really cool. I like it. I like it. And I think there's one last little thing. It's a little baggie. Oh, this might be a needle minder. Let's see what this is. It is indeed a needle minder. Oh, that's cool. So it's sort of like an old style tattoo rose. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Okay, too dark. But that's a nifty needle minder. And they do these buttons on the back with the other magnet to make it a little bit easier to pull those apart, which is nice. So that's what we have. Let me look at the little sheet here. So here's the sheet that came with it. The embroidery threads by Forbidden Fiber Co. The pattern by Kelly King. Nail file curated by Forbidden Fiber Co. When those unruly nails won't stop getting hung in your threads, use this dagger-like file to smooth those edges. Yep. Thorny Rose Needle Minder, made by Forbidden Fiber Co. Roses mainly symbolize love, and if love is full of thorns, still embrace it, because in between the thorns, there's a rose worth all of the pain. We're all worth it. That's really good. The zipper pull was part of the whole package, and that's also made by Forbidden Fiber Co. Hand beaded zipper pull, perfect for a complement to anything with a zipper. Fragile Like a Bomb project bag, made by Forbidden Fiber Co. Store your cross stitch or makeup or even brass knuckles safely in this custom made project bag. It's perfect for a small project to carry on the go. And then we've got the hand dyed fabric and the embroidery floss. So yeah, that was super cool. So I love the fact that the whole thing was packaged in the little bag. I don't know why I'm so impressed by that, but I just love stuff like that. It's a cute little detail. And I think I love this little bag. I'm a bag fanatic. I think that's part of the reason I'm like, ooh, I like that it's in a bag, because because my brain naturally likes to put things in bags, and so it's like, ooh, it already comes in a bag. That's fantastic. So yeah, as usual, I love the Forbidden Fiber Co. I love their curated little box here. Momo is getting back on top of everything. Can I help you, please? Can I have my chart? Can I have my chart? Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to clean this stuff up, and Momo is standing on everything. So anyway, but yeah, as usual, I really, really love it. I think it's awesome, and I love the idea that that they're going with of doing kits for some themes and doing full treasure troves for other things, because it makes it a little bit more affordable. I can't remember the specific price points, but I know that the kit was, I don't know, it was probably at least $20 cheaper than the treasure trove, the knitting treasure trove in this theme. So it does make it more affordable, because I know that purchasing the trust me, I know the purchasing the treasure troves can get a little spendy. I have impulse control issues, so I continue buying all the things. But yeah, this Cobra Kai one may actually be the first one that I don't immediately run and purchase, and it's only because I'm just not that into the Karate Kid, and I haven't watched the show. And I think part of that was because when I was younger and I was in like, not summer camp, but basically like daycare over the summer, because both my parents worked and my brother had his own life. So when I was in daycare over the summer, we would have one day that was like a movie day, or like a nap time that was moved. I can't remember exactly how often it happened, but it seemed like the Karate Kid movies were one of the only things they would show us. And they would show it to us over and over and over and over again. And I didn't hate it, but I also didn't like it enough to have to watch it over and over and over again. I can't get this fabric back in the bag. Okay, I'll do that when I get off the camera, because it's just fighting me. So yeah, I wasn't that into it, and then I had to watch it over and over again. Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I'm not a fan of the movie because I've had to watch it over and over again because I was forced to as a child, by the daycare. So I have never watched Cobra Kai because I'm just not that into Karate Kid and the whole Karate Kid universe. It has nothing to do with martial arts. I love martial arts, but it's just not my cup of tea. Now I've heard Cobra Kai is a good, pardon me, I have something in my eye. I've heard that Cobra Kai is a great show, that it's very funny and it's awesome. Just not my bag. So maybe this time I'll finally save a little bit of money. Maybe. But you know me, I get FOMO, so we'll see. I did purchase both the Bridgerton, both treasure troves for Bridgerton. So I got the knitting treasure trove and the cross stitch treasure trove for Bridgerton, because of course I did. But yeah, maybe I'll put a pause for Cobra Kai, let it sit, see what the next theme is. The only problem with that is that I won't get to purchase whatever's after Cobra Kai early, because I won't have gotten or actually no, whatever's after Cobra Kai will be in the Bridgerton box. So I will get it. I will get that one early. We'll see. You know how I am. I get enabled so easily. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be seeing you. Let's see, what's the schedule look like next week? Hopefully I'll have a Woolly Wednesday. It feels really hit or miss lately because I couldn't get one last week, and then I filmed it this week, and I don't know, well, I do know, I know exactly what happened, but I don't know how it happened because, so what had happened was, when I went to film Knitcast this past Wednesday, the new camera actually has an external microphone. That's part of the reason the sound is better filming this way than it was with the webcams and stuff. So it has an external microphone, which I diligently plugged in just like I'm supposed to, and I thought I had turned it on. It has separate power. I thought I had turned it on, and when I finished filming, I went to take the SD card out and looked and saw that the light was not on the microphone. And so then I checked the clips of the videos that I had recorded, and lo and behold, there was no sound because the microphone was not actually on. I thought I had turned it on. I thought I had checked for the light. Apparently I did not do so thoroughly. So I recorded 30 or 40 minutes of video with no sound whatsoever. So that was super fun because then I'm like, I hate re-recording. I can re-record, but I hate doing that because you lose all the enthusiasm that was there the first time because, you know, I'm just trying to remember what I said the first time, and Momo's back. Hello, Momo. You know, so I decided not to re-record it. I decided to just go ahead and do a voiceover instead because I thought that might be more... I thought that might be easier on me and more interesting for you. And then the voiceover was a little weird because I decided to speed up the video, and so that was an experience that apparently some of you have enjoyed. So I appreciate that. I'm glad that that was a good experience for you because I wasn't really sure how that was going to shake out. So I kept the original footage and I just did a voiceover on top of it. And yeah, so hopefully this week there will be a regular Knitcast and it will be normal. And oh, don't fall over. I overbalanced her. Which happens because she gets so into the petting that then she like sort of like loses her balance. Oh, okay. So anyway, hopefully there'll be a regular Knitcast. I'm planning on doing the unboxing of, or posting the unboxing of the Fight Like a Girl knitting box on Monday. So that will be your miscellaneous Monday. We'll have Knitcast on Wednesday and Flosstube on Friday. So that's the potential schedule. Yeah, and if you're interested in getting any behind the scenes sneak peeks, or actually that's something I'm going to do this week for my patrons. I'm going to be sharing some first dibs kind of things on some new items that I'll be bringing to the Etsy shop very soon. So my plan, or my hope, is to release them to the public around the middle of May. Might be a little bit after the middle of May, but I'm going to give all of my patrons a first look and the first option to buy any of those new items if they're interested. So that'll be coming in the next few days once I get some pictures taken and decide on pricing and things like that. So that'll be coming to Patreon if you feel like joining in and checking it out. I don't have tiers. I just have basically, you know, pay what you want kind of situation, and you have access to everything that I do regardless of how much you pay. So that is that. But that will be coming soon once I actually have everything ready to go to release them in the Etsy shop. I will do a quick little shop update, either as a separate video or as part of Flosstube, to let you all know, to let everybody know what's coming to the shop. I'm kind of excited about the new items. I hope you will be too. So, yep, I think that's it. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and go so that this little cat who needs way too much attention can get some attention. And get off my fabric. No, no. Oh, come on now. She's trying to get on my fabric. Let me go, y'all. As always, remember to stay hydrated. Remember to take any meds that you need to take. And remember that you are good enough. And I will see you again next week. Bye.